Hey, it's Golden Buddha here, back with some more RPG horror stories for your listening entertainment. Today we have a story about a wizard who gets a little bit too handsy, and then kinda gets mad about it out of character. Roll post. Years back, I had a friend of mine invite me to play in his D&D game. He was new at DMing, and D&D in general. I was ready to have another group to play with. Was already in a group, but they were beginning to wear me down. We were playing a homebrew 3.5 game with a few other people. Perfect. It's been nearly a decade since that game was played, and most of the other players were acquaintances, so I don't really remember the rest of the makeup. But I was glad to see one person I knew and considered a friend. Everyone, self included, jokingly called him Pervert. He was a fellow artist and pretty jokey kind of guy. He was also new to D&D. We talked about characters. I was going to be playing a fawn druid who was searching for something to bring back honor to her mentor archdruid, and was claustrophobic. Not much, but sometimes a simple start is all you need. I asked Pervert what he had in mind. Introducing the G. He was a powerful evil wizard who was beyond cunning and always had the upper hand. He was mischievous and wild, not caring for the needs of others. He had a long backstory of how he was abandoned by many people and the cruelty of man, and how in that time he learned all sorts of things like chemistry, ventriloquism, psychology, that he was hideous because of something, and that made him evil. I am not exaggerating on the evil thing. He got very dramatic about it all, which I don't hate. He was also a hammy, goofy guy in general, so chalked it up to that. He also compared his character to the Joker. A lot. His inspiration was the Batman's Joker, and he made that no secret. He would go on to explain at length about how much of the genius the Joker was, and how he was a master chemist, and all these other things. As someone who's not super into comics, I couldn't really argue one way or the other. As someone with not a lot of experience at the time, I remember being a little hesitant about him playing an evil character. But I can't tell someone what they can or can't play. And who knows, maybe the G would be the greatest part of this adventure. The game finally starts, and it begins with the characters meeting up in a forest. Right away, the G is wringing his hands and loudly squealing over how these mindless simpletons have fallen into his trap. In character, not just as Pervert. The rest of the characters shrugged it off and just opted not to listen to him. All of the G's dialogue was mindless, random rambling, interladen with cartoonishly evil laughter. Oh, this wasn't really entertaining. He would just sort of hover around the group spouting nonsense while we tried to move the story along. In character, the group wasn't sure if he was serious or insane and just let him follow. We had to travel through a dark, narrow cave to progress. That's when shit turned annoying to nope fast. It was a tight 5-foot wide tunnel of dark dripping stone making us march single file. My character's already on edge being the claustrophobic person she is. Right behind her is the G. Not a respectful 5 feet behind her, but right against her back, hand on shoulder. That's when he started muttering to her. You know what would be deliciously fun? I rape you and burn down the forest. There was more said, but it's been nearly a decade, and that was mostly ominous gibberish. But the G is described as pressing against her, hands moving around her. I roll to attack, I say. There's a quiet stun at the table. Pervert is especially quiet. What? You can't do that. You threatened to rape her and burn down the forest. She sure as hell can. She pulls out her scimitar and stabs him. I roll and easily get past the AC, killing him on the spot. Level 1 wizards are not the pinnacle of strength. Pervert howls in anger and all hell breaks loose. He keeps screaming about, "You can't do that! I have a feature that hides my evil alignment! And you would have been okay with it if my character was hot!" This was 3.5. His character had some sort of feature that did, in fact, hide his evil alignment. However, that only hides your aura so you don't get clocked by cleric spells looking for evil. If you shout that you're evil and do evil things, people are going to know that you're evil. No matter how we explained that to him, he wasn't going to let it go. A fight broke out at the table, mostly Pervert yelling and complaining about how unfair this all was, and that he was a victim. The DM, just really tired of all this, revived his character and made the boss fight happen. The mood to play after that had already tanked. We defeated the monster and got out and quietly went home. The campaign never continued, and I never saw the G again. But that wasn't the last I saw of Pervert at the table. One bonus thing. My friend had played with that group a few weeks before I had. Complete with Pervert and the G, he rolled a tank of an orc barbarian. This was another adventure meant to start at level 1. Once again, the G was a rambling, evil lunatic who rattled nonsense and tried to rape the barbarian. No magic spells, which at first level is nothing to really write home about anyways. Just tried to physically overpower the meat slab. From what I heard, that interaction led to a G-shaped hole in the wall and the pervert crying favoritism. So yeah, don't try to rape your party members with your soap-brained chattering characters. It's not fun for anyone. End post. Yeah, that was pretty messed up. Just don't do stuff like that. Don't have a rapey character. Just don't. But this did happen decades ago, so I'm pretty sure that guy's moved on to plague another table with his fuckery. Anyways, if you guys like this story, like and subscribe for more content. Let me know what you think of the story below. And as always, this is Golden Buddha telling you to stay enlightened and stay safe.